Good day, everyone. Today, I'll be discussing how gunshot residue, also known as the GSR, plays a pivotal role in forensic science and crime scene investigation. My name is Fredrick Wimbeck, and this capstone project will explore the science behind the GSR, its applications, limitations, and real-world impacts. So, without wasting my time, I would like to dive in. First of all, what is gunshot residue? Gunshot residue consists of microscopic particles that are expelled when a firearm is discharged. These particles are a mix of primer elements like barium, antimony, and lead, as well as propellant residues such as nitrates. So we can think of gunshot residue as an invisible fingerprint that is left behind a gunshot or when a gun is being fired. Also, it can be used for critical analysis and also for linking suspects to crime scenes. How gunshot residue is collected. Collection of gunshot residue requires precision. So here you must be precise during your residue collection. Investigators use adhesive straps like the sticky tapes to lift particles from crime scene, even from clothing or from the hand of the suspect in question or surfaces. For chemical testing tools, swapped detects nitrates are being applied or used. Key areas where the invisible fingerprint or the gunshot residue can be uh, collected from can be the shooter's hand, face, or nearby objects. So this is an image of a standard gunshot residue collection kit that is being used at the crime scene. Analyzing gunshot residue in the lab. In the lab, forensic experts use advanced tools like the SEM EDS, that's a scanning electron microscope. And the SEM EDS is a very high powered microscope that's been paired with the X-rays. It's used to identify elemental compositions. The grease test, that's the calorimetric test, is used to detect nitrates. So this slide shows an image of a DSR particle which helps distinguish gunfire residues from other contaminants. How gunshot residue solves crime? Gunshot residue provides three key insights. And the first insight is that it confirms if a suspect really fired a gun. Second is that the residue patterns on the victim can estimate the firing distance. So here at the crime scene, when the residue happens to be more relevant or prevalent on the suspect's hand, face, or the nearby object, it can be used to identify or estimate the firing distance. The third one is that consistent residue also can link multiple crime scenes together. However, errors did occur, and one of the errors that occurred was in 2004, and it involved one brand of Mayfield, where the gunshot residue, there was misinterpretation of the gunshot residue that led to a wrongful arrest. And here you could see that there's a limitation here, and there's the need for careful analysis when dealing with the gunshot residue. Limitations of gunshot residue. Gunshot residue isn't a foolproof because false positives can arise from break dust or fireworks or even transfer from police officers at the crime scene can even serve as a limitation. Residue also degrades quickly. Yes, because it washes off from hands within 6 hours. So here, these are some of the limitations of the gunshot residue. So here's the chart of the GSR to other forensic tools that's highlighting its strengths and vulnerabilities. Real world case studies. In high-profile cases like the State versus Trayvon Martin, that's 2013 case, and the George Zimmerman's case, where George Zimmerman's clothing supported his self-defense claim by providing a timeline of events. So this case here, this reward case here, illustrates how gunshot residue can corroborate or challenge witness statements, though it is rarely conclusive. Yes, it is rarely conclusive alone. Feature of the gunshot residue. Emerging technologies like the LIBS, that's the laser-based analysis, and the AI-assisted SEMs, scanning electron microscope, can help in speed up testing and reduce human errors. Yes, with the help of the LIBS and the AI-assisted SEMs, human errors can be reduced, and these innovations could make GSR evidence more reliable and accessible in the future. Conclusion. So, in summary, I would say that GSR is a powerful but imperfect tool because of its limitations. Yes, and its probability to give false positives. To strengthen investigations, it must be combined with ballistics, DNA, and witness accounts. Yes, to help the investigations to become more stronger. Also, for policymakers and those of us in the labs, forensic experts in the labs, investing in these new technologies and training is very crucial and it will help minimize human errors. Thank you. It's a few questions and answers, and these questions and answers talks about why or why not gunshot residue can serve as evidence or can serve as evidence or can't serve as evidence. So here you can see that there are limitations. Environmental conditions can also contribute to why or why not gunshot residues can serve as evidence. So one of the questions is that GSR residue evidence can be used as supporting evidence, and that's true in criminal investigations. And here's why the presence of GSR doesn't necessarily imply guilt, and that's also true because it is not a full proof, or it can't give a full proof. Also, GSR can be affected by environmental conditions like weather, time, and activities. Yes, as earlier mentioned in my previous slides, where even environmental conditions and within 6 hours' time, if the residue is not being collected, it will wash away. Also, the GSR can be found on individuals who handle firearms. Yes. So here you will see that sometimes officers or crime scene investigators who handle firearms can also have GSR on their hand. And here you could see that GSR alone cannot be used to convict.